Greetings, guys. What's going on? I'm back today to talk conspiracy theories. Or I guess more so, what would be a good solution to kind of bring about the actual truth. You know, everyone always talks about the truth, and there's like truthers on the internet or whatever they call themselves. So they all have different opinions about what is the biggest deal. What is the biggest conspiracy out there? Is it aliens? Is it the earth is flat? Fucking aliens in the moon controlling our minds? Is the earth hollow? These are the biggest conspiracy theories that you need to know and you need to be an activist for. And no, I think most of that's honestly bullshit. I don't know for sure, like flat earth and shit. Like fucking who knows? Maybe. I doubt it, but I've never been in space. I haven't seen the earth as a whole, so, could be wrong. Maybe I'll take one of those space tourism flights that are supposed to be available in 2019 and find out. So, yeah, for a little aside, the people, do they think, are these people going to take these flights? Are they going to actually go up there and see what the Earth is like when the tourism in space is available? That seems like a pretty big conundrum to their whole conspiracy if that were to be available to them. And if people were able to go up there and take pictures themselves. Anyway, enough of that. So all these different groups, the flat earthers, the hollow earthers, whatever you want to call them, they all had this idea that their conspiracy, their truth is the most important thing on this earth, and that if everyone needs to know about it, and that it somehow people knowing about this would destroy the globalist construct, the Freemason construct, whatever. They think everything is manipulated. Conjured up by these fucking, I don't know, what are the fucking wizards or whatever, like basically alpha humans, essentially, I guess, because it's hard to explain those kinds of theories without assuming that there's some kind of human above the rest of the humans in terms of intellect, in terms of foresight, and hindsight. They're able to predict the future a lot better than others. They're able to more accurately describe the psychology of human beings. They would have been having to do this for centuries now. They would have been. Some people say it's been happening for what would 1,000 years be? Not a millennia. Would it be a millennia? I don't know. Anyway, so they say this has been happening for thousands of years. The Freemasons, as soon as they're founding, and there's the Illuminati, the original Illuminati group. And there's a whole bunch of other groups too. Don't get me wrong. What's that one? Blood and I don't know, but there's a bunch on like college campuses and shit. And they always talk about them, and they're always like, oh, well, people get pre-selected at these college campuses to join these little guilds, and within these guilds, they construct the reality that we see. Like everything that goes on your TV, everything that you read. I guess not everything you read, but everything essentially from all the laws, all the politics. And I just don't feel like that's necessarily true. Maybe I do believe there's different interest groups with large amounts of power, but I don't think they're controlling there isn't a single group or a single selective type of human that are just controlling everyone else. I believe there's a lot of like sociopaths or psychopaths at the top of the rung, and then below them there's just a lot of useless idiots, or useful idiots, I guess, for them to control and manipulate. So all the bureaucrats and whatnot, and all the politicians. So I've been thinking, and it's like, what is really the best way to bring about what could possibly be an actual truth? Maybe whether it be aliens or some big thing, because a lot of people like to think that there is some big thing. I think, honestly, it gives them more meaning to life if they can assume that there's some sort of grand conspiracy controlling everything, because that makes things a bit more interesting. If there wasn't actually some grand conspiracy, just a bunch of stupid humans controlling everything, which it's just as frightening of an idea, or just moving sloppily towards some shitty dystopia. That's pretty scary to me too. The thing is, it's hard to keep big secrets like that secret for so long. They say the moon landings were all fake. They would have had to have done a fuck ton of work, and all of space would have to be pretty much crafted, and all the data they collect would have to be pretty much processed and brought about from nothing and made up, essentially. I don't know, and all the satellites and all the different now private companies working on like their own space programs and going to Mars, and who fucking knows. But the best thing I say that would really bring about the truth is more like it's like a slow process that people need to do. We need to disassociate ourselves from the laws wherever possible. You know, simple things. Jaywalking, I don't know, go smoke some weed somewhere where you're not supposed to smoke weed. No, obviously don't be stupid about it. But just little things like this where people slowly care less and less about what the laws say and just do what is really truly right. Because the laws don't really describe some sort of moral, finite end goal. There's no moral compass that is crafted from these laws. They're just there because someone decided they're going to be an asshole that day. Yes, a lot of laws are necessary, but there's a lot of them also that are just total bullshit. Like, for example, civil asset forfeiture. Cops can just come to your house, take your shit, take it down to the police station, and then you have to go prove that you're innocent. So it takes out the what is it called? I don't know, but anyway, you're supposed to be innocent before proving guilty, but in this case, you're guilty, and you have to prove yourself to be innocent, which is bullshit. You know, they can take your money, they can take your car, they can take your anything. They kill your dog if they fucking want, and no repercussions. So there's definitely a lot more power moving into the different security forces, and I think that's because they're scared. Because in the early Bush administration, and I know in the 90s, from what I've seen, is a lot of people were tending to protest more. They were very upset with the government. And of course, 9/11 happened, and then everyone fucking swallowed their fucking blue pill and got back to it. But anyway, I don't know. It's such bullshit. But anyway, that's a good way. What would that be called? Just some sort of civil disassociation. That's what I'm going to call it. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but that's what I'm going to say. Civil disassociation. Just little things you can do. Fuck the laws. Speed a little wherever you can. Store money, collect rainwater, do all sorts of shit. Work with the black market, Now, I technically don't condone illegal activities, but in this case, that's a good way to kind of tell the government to go fuck themselves. And the more and more people that actually do this and stop actually working in the spotlight of the law, then, they become meaningless. They lose their power, because their power is only as strong as the people let it be. And if the people are just kind of like, yeah, whatever, we're not going to listen to you, good luck, bro, then what the fuck are they going to do? What if people start forming their own local police forces and just kind of kick out the state-assigned police forces? If it got serious enough, that'd have to call for a really serious situation. And, honestly, they'd probably call in the National Guard to come kick some ass, but that'd be a good show of resistance. I don't know, maybe the National Guard wouldn't even want to fight other Americans, because that's their job is to protect Americans, not to go in and shoot Americans. So I bet if they actually tried moving people in, some would say no, and there could be a split in the forces. Who knows? That's a good way. We gotta restrict money flowing through politics, like lobbying money, big PAC money, foreign aid and shit. That's just a fucking river of corruption flowing right through our government, and it's only getting deeper. It's only carving out a fucking Grand Canyon worth of corruption. And that's probably one of the bigger problems plaguing our government today. All these little donations that they get, because think about it. Another thing we should do is cut their pay and make them work full time. These people only have to work half the year. They get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars. A lot of them are millionaires. They have several houses. Look at fucking John McCain. He's got like 7 or 8 mansions. Yeah, no, fuck that. It shouldn't be like that. They're not doing jack shit. They have an approval rating of 12. They don't deserve that kind of material goods. Maybe their pay should be based on their approval rating. That's what I say. At least I'd give them more of an incentive to either pretend to be doing better or actually fucking do better. Get the monetary benefits out of there. These people don't fucking need that shit. If you actually want to help change the government, you shouldn't care too much about the money. If you're caring about the money, you don't care about politics, and therefore you shouldn't fucking be there. Now, I guess the problem with that is there's a couple groups out there that are working towards that. Like, I know there's like Justice Democrats, and there's that one group called Wolfpack. They're trying to get money out of politics. Justice Democrats is just people running as Democrats, and they have like a couple pledges. They're all like, oh, we won't accept corporate or PAC money, which is a good thing. I actually approve of this group. I don't agree with all their whole platform, but whatever. They're like for Medicare for all and free college and shit. So I don't necessarily agree with all that, but the whole money out of politics is a great start. Same with Wolfpack. I know they're solely just for getting money out of politics. They do a lot of campaigning. They don't actually run politicians. or run candidates like Justice Democrats do, but they do go from state to state and run these little campaigns to go around and tell people about money and politics. So yeah, that's another thing. Civil disassociation, good. Money out of politics, good. And the third one, these like the lucky three here, it's just internet freedom. We need that. We need a free flow of information. If information keeps getting restricted, if European laws keep getting pushed on us by these international corporations, we gotta fucking fight back against that, either by switching to alternative technologies, or I guess by switching to them, we're kind of boycotting them anyway. But yeah, boycott these bigger companies that are doing this. Facebook, Twitter. I guess those are the big ones. Google. These people, they don't care. They're not Americans. They have no nationalism in them. They're all fucking globalists. And a lot of them, say for example, like Germany, is like, oh, well, we don't want our citizens seeing this, and it's an unfair advantage, and Americans get to see this, so we want you to block it for them too. And they're like, oh, yeah, okay. So they come in here and they censor some shit for the Americans crowd. And yeah, that sort of shit does happen, and it's fucking bullshit. So while these other countries decide to ruin themselves, everything, any Western values that they have, they decide to crumble that to the ground, we should really stand as a beacon of light in the world. I know we don't. They say we always have, but I know we don't. But we really could if we really started actually standing for freedom again. That's a good step. And I think those are the basic things we need. We don't need to put all of our energy into making them trying to make them admit that the earth is flat or something. They're not going to do that. If the earth is flat, that's not going to work, yo. And good luck getting enough people to actually believe something like that, because there's too many science campaigns out there. Fucking got Bill Nye, the science guy, out there doing campaigns against flat earth and stuff. So, and you got Neil deGrasse Tyson, these famous scientific spokesman or whatever. I know Bill Nye's not actually a scientist, but he likes to say is Neil deGrasse Tyson is actually an astrophysicist, but you're not going to do it. People like them way more than they like you if you're into the flat earth shit. I can guarantee you that. So if you really are, yeah, sure, keep trying to convince people, go ahead, but that shouldn't be your primary goal or your only goal if you actually want the truth to get out there, if you actually care about it. So, yeah, I guess I just felt like ranting about that shit for a little bit. Fuck, dude, I don't know, I see a bunch of different groups doing this. Whatever their little message happens to be, they only focus on that. And while yes, sometimes it's important, whether it be exposing the pedophiles in the upper echelons of society, or some sort of corruption, those are always good things to point out. But you shouldn't focus all your time and energy trying to prove some conspiracy theory that for some reason you may have your hopes dead set on. A lot of these people, I think, invest too much into these conspiracy theories, and then they don't allow themselves to even reconsider the possibility of it being true or not because they're too invested emotionally, mentally, and if that doesn't go through, their whole being just kind of has to crumble and find something new to believe in. A lot of people are like that. They have to believe in something, and sometimes, whether it's conspiracy theory, some sort of god, whatever. So, I don't know. Push skepticism. It's always a good thing. Skepticism is the best way. Skeptical of everything. Take in as many facts as you can and kind of put everything on a probability rating. You shouldn't necessarily believe in anything, but you shouldn't necessarily believe in nothing either. You got to be somewhere in the middle. I don't know. That's my best advice. Anyway, that's all for now. Peace.